Hello and welcome to the News Desk. Maria Bartholdi, joined by Pro Tour historian Brian David Marshall. A really big moment now as we announce the 2017 class for the Magic the Gathering Pro Tour Hall of Fame. Brian, who do we have?
Well, I can tell you that the votes have been tabulated and we have two players going into the Hall of Fame this year. Those players are going to be Josh Leighton and the first player to be elected from the Czech Republic, Martin Musa. Congratulations to both of them.
So let's take a little bit of a closer look at Josh Leighton. Everybody loves him. He's just a great guy and a fabulous deck builder. Tell me a little bit more about him.
You know what? I mean, you really touched on it there. I mean, Josh ticks so many boxes when you're considering a Hall of Fame candidacy. He's going to cross 400 lifetime pro points when he signed up round one here. Those 3 points get him actually right up to 400 lifetime points. He's got 5 Pro Tour top 8s, which is like the 3,000 hits in baseball when people talk about those benchmark numbers. 5 Pro Tour top 8s is that big, big number. Not many players get to reach that, and he's done that in just 10 years on the Pro Tour. So like every other year, he's getting a top 8. Just remarkable consistency. And you know what? He's a great deck builder, too.
That's right.
And on top of all that, you've been wandering around Japan like I have for a couple days. We were here for the Grand Prix. How many Magic players did you see who were just in some Airbnb somewhere testing the format, who were taking a break to go wander around a hedgehog cafe?
Everybody. You're just mad you couldn't get in that hedgehog cafe.
I'm so mad. But everybody's here. They're spending 2 weeks. They boot camp the standard format. They boot camp the draft format. And that is a big part. Due in big part to Josh Leighton, along with Luis Scott Vargas and other core members of that Channel Fireball team that in the early 2000s, first half of the 2000s, really changed the way, second half of the 2000s, really changed the way people played on the Pro Tour. And you can really see their impact with all the players who are here. And in even like the team series, I find it to be a natural outgrowth of their efforts to really just dominate the Pro Tour for several years there.
And I think it's so cool. I just want to point this out. Josh Leighton's first Grand Prix was back in 2007 in San Francisco.
Secretly, it was in San Jose,
oh, really?
Which is his hometown.
Oh, interesting. He got 213th place.
Oh, wow.
So quite a rise to the top from there, proving that anybody can get into the Hall of Fame if you work hard enough.
Yeah, his first Pro Tour, of course, was Hollywood in 2007, also a California event. He had a kind of murderer's row on day one. He didn't get out of day one, but he faced off against, I believe, John Finkel, Paulo Vitor Damarosa, who would later become a teammate, and Mark Herberholz, who's someone that a lot of people were talking about for the Hall of Fame this year, and someone with an incredible resume and a Pro Tour champion. So.
Well, you talked to Josh Leighton yesterday about this Hall of Fame, so let's take a look at his interview.
Brian David Marshall here with Josh Leighton of Team CFB Fire. Josh, congratulations on being elected into the Magic the Gathering Pro Tour Hall of Fame.
Thank you.
It feels like 10 years has gone by in an eye blink here, but what is it, what's the significance for you of being so prominently discussed throughout this whole process and now being at the top of the ballot going into this class?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's been a really fun month, just like hearing all the discussion and it's been really enjoyable hearing all of the great things that people have to say. So it's been wonderful that, and it's just like such an honor to be held up alongside like all of these people that I've looked up to for so long and still do to this day. To be like, honored as like you belong among them is just like unbelievable to me.
When you look back at your career, what's your personal highlight of playing on the Pro Tour? What's your great memory from this 10-year span?
The moment that stands out to me is four of us making the top 8 of Worlds in San Francisco. It was my hometown, and it just like playing on like the final day alongside 3 teammates was just awesome. Like my family was there to like watch. It was just such a great experience.
All right, well, you know what? Your family's going to be alongside to watch when we go to Pro Tour Ixalan, and you get inducted into the Hall of Fame later this year. Josh Leighton, congratulations again on your election to the Pro Tour Hall of Fame.
Thank you.
Congratulations to Josh Leighton and, of course, Martin Musa. Let's learn a little bit more about him. He's known as a great ambassador for the game.
Absolutely. More than 500 lifetime pro points, 534. But the thing about Martin that really strikes me is up until this season, he had 2 Pro Tour top 8s. And I was at the Hall of Fame ceremony at the beginning of this season. watching Yuya Watanabe and Owen Turtenwald get inducted, and Martin Musa was standing next to me. And he was kind of dejected because he really felt like he had maybe missed an opportunity to be up there alongside them. He's been on the ballot since 2013. And he felt like maybe he had been going on autopilot, or a lot of people were saying, "Oh, I really want to vote for you, but 2 Pro Tour top 8s, I really need one more to have an excuse." And he kept hearing that, and he really was like a little dejected and a little sad, and felt like what could have been. But also was his good friend Lucas Blohan is someone who had just recently said, "You know what, I'm not going to go on autopilot anymore. I watch what someone like Owen Turtenwald does, and he just works really hard, and he has these results. I'm good. I could do that too." And then Lucas did it, and then Martin saw Lucas do it, and he's like, "Well, I could do that too." And now you see Martin get his 3rd Pro Tour top 8 at the start of this season, just have a dominating Grand Prix season. He's right in the mix for a World Championship slot, just playing the best Magic of his career again. And now he is the first player from the Czech Republic to get elected to the Pro Tour Hall of Fame.
All right, well, let's hear from Martin in his own words.
Congratulations, Martin Musa. You're the first player from the Czech Republic to be inducted into the Magic the Gathering Pro Tour Hall of Fame. Big congratulations to you. What does this honor mean to you? I know this is something you were really hungry for. What does it mean for you to be enshrined alongside all the Magic's all-time greats?
It's amazing. I don't even know what to say. It's like a dream come true, basically, like something I've been working for the whole life. I'm not gonna believe it until they give me the ring, basically. I don't even know what to say. Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing.
When I hand you do the handshake,
Yes.
I'll pinch you too, so you know.
Sure.
Okay.
So I can wake up. Yeah. Yeah.
Now, it's been a long career. You've been playing for more than 10 years. What was your first Pro Tour experience like?
I was very bad. I was like one of the people. I had no idea what was going on. We brought a bunch of decks that were not very good. I remember it was Pro Tour New Orleans 2003.
That was extended?
It was extended. I brought my Psychotog deck with this Isochron Scepter for accumulated knowledge and Diabolic Edict, while everybody else was trying to turn 1, some artifacts, Stroke of Genius, draw 15 cards and do a bunch of crazy stuff.
People were casting Tinker at that Pro Tour.
Yeah, people were doing crazy stuff. I was playing Diabolic Edict, and I remember that one of the rounds I played against a Japanese pro, and he had this crazy combo deck with the card Food Chain, and I didn't even know what the card did. I had to learn how the deck works, what the card does right there at the PT. So you could see how bad my preparation was, given that I didn't even know one of the top decks in the format.
Well, now one of the best players in the game. He's going to be enshrined in the Hall of Fame at Pro Tour Ixalan later this year. Congratulations, Martin Musa.
Thank you.
Wonderful stuff hearing from Martin Musa there. BDM, how do you feel about this class this year?
I mean, this class is great. I mean, these are 2 people. By the way, both members of Channel Fireball Fire,
Yeah.
which is pretty amazing. Just 2 of the greats of the game, 2 of the people that have just dominated desk discussion for more than 10 years at the Pro Tour. We're just always talking about these guys. So hard to have any arguments with their inclusion in the Hall of Fame.
All right, well, let's take a look at how the votes shook out for the members of the Hall of Fame this year. You can see Josh Utter Leighton, 86% of the vote there. That's a clear lock for him. Martin
I could
Musa.
argue with that.
Oh, can you?
I could. Well, I mean, there's 14% or so people who, I'm not really sure what you were doing if you weren't voting for Josh Utter Leighton. He was the layup candidate on the ballot, and if you're not voting for Josh, I don't really understand it.
Martin Musa coming in second there with 66% of the vote, and Chris Bakula just missing out there at 41% of the vote. They did change this year to 60% as a qualification to get in. Mark Herbeholtz on 4th place there with 28% of the vote. Congratulations once again to Josh Utter Leighton and Martin Musa, the 2017 class of the Magic the Gathering Pro Tour Hall of Fame.